Hello, 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 ladies, gents, boys, girls. Welcome along to the Monday night live stream slot where we have the next round of the MultiClass Masters Online Championship here in Le Mans Ultimate. We are back after what was a couple of days break last week where I missed the last round of the WEC Experience Online Championship as I was away for work in Milan. But I hope that you're all good. I hope that you had a good weekend. Hope you had a good finish to your week last week. I'm just having a look at something on my clip here. It looks like there's some letters that have come off or missing or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Either way, this should be a pretty interesting race. We are in split 1, having just loaded into the server. 5 splits in total. We're in the LMP3 class as per usual. And we're hoping that we can continue on our better run of form that we started last Monday at Sebring, where we managed to pick up second position in the end. We were battling at the end of the race for one of the podium spots. And in the end, we picked up P2. We were in a battle with Chris Warner in the final 20 minutes or so. He managed to get ahead, started pulling weight, and then he unfortunately made a mistake and he lost the position, which meant that we got gifted P2, which we'll take for sure, as it's always nice to get a podium. So hopefully we can have some good pace here for this evening's race. We look like we're doing fairly good in practice, however, it's kind of hard to judge when you haven't got the fastest guys in the practice session with you to judge how close you actually are, or whereabouts in relation you are to them. Although there is one guy in here who was in the practice session with me and I was 2.5 tenths quicker than they were, I think, on quality fuel. So, yeah. Hopefully, things translate well here this evening. It's going to be a dry race throughout. No threat of weather or any rain. Of course, there's weather. Weather's always a thing. But, yeah, should be a pretty much straight, dry race. Single pit stop. Don't really have to worry about fuel saving at all. And, yeah, with this pretty stacked grid, be interesting to see how well we do against the others. We've got Warner in here again. Leon is in here. Howell Lebutz was the driver who I was referring to in the practice session. Christian Bonani, Max Bayer. Hey mate, thanks for tuning in and your continued support, being a member here on the channel. Part of the pit crew. We got about 50 odd seconds until we actually go ahead and drop into the qualifying session. So we're just going to chill here for that remaining little bit of time, and then we'll head out onto the track pretty much at the start of the session in the green light. Ooh, yo to everybody who's in there. Having a look at the overall grid. That we have here. There's a few drivers who are usually in are missing. I know Jardier's probably not racing because I think he's got the flu after streaming for 66 days in a row. The absolute crazy madman. So he's probably chilling in bed or on the sofa watching the race, and we are down the far end of the pit lane. Interesting. Right, we're going to park it here. Wait for that green light. Before we head out onto the circuit and get this qualifying session underway. There it is. So let's go. Couldn't hold it out for 3 days more. Hold what out? What do you mean, Lyric? What is it you're speaking of? Oh, Leon's got to stop and go. Silly boy went out the pit exit before everything went green. Right. I'll wait a couple of laps for the tyres to warm up. It's not as drastic as the hypercars in terms of the warm-up stage. However, it does take a few 2 or 3 laps until they're kind of in their optimal sort of temperatures. I see. 69. Yeah. I get you a decent set of tyres there ready for you, just in case something does happen and it does mean that you need to make a pit stop. Sorry, my phone is just flashing up there and distracting me slightly. Right. Here we go with the first bank lap. We do have a small handful of LMP3s in front of us here at the moment on the circuit. Not a good exit off of turn 1. That's low, but that's fine. This is only a provisional lap anyway. As you can see, tyres are still pretty cold. Warm up nicely through this section. Tricky braking zone in turn 10. It's going to be a lap invalidation. There it is. Yeah, it's quite hard to get the car slowed down there for that one. Not without locking anyway. Gets easier once there's more temperature in the tyres. Whilst we're on an invalid lap, just lifting and taking these corners a little bit more steadily than if I was actually on a push lap. Alright, let's go. Decent run off the final corner. Let's see what people's lap times are. Low 55 for Banani. That's good. So I think we might be on the cusp of 54.0, 53.0. Again, a lot of buffering, although it might be your end. We've had this in 1 or 2 weeks. Everything looks good on my end. It might just be the server that YouTube's gone and assigned me to that's perhaps a little bit slow or something like that. Yeah, everything's looking good here on OBS. Can't see any issues. Right, let's see where this first lap is going to put us. Oh, a bit wide here. A bit deep there. Here, turn this up. Seeing a lot of buffer moving. Maybe it's YouTube. I'm hoping it's YouTube. As I say, everything seems good on my end. But it has done what you guys are describing in the last week or two now. Alright, provisional P3. Warner's into the 54s. Okay. Interesting. I say I'm streaming in 1440p, so 1080 might be alright. Oh. That's annoying. A little deep there. That's a better hairpin. And a better exit there. Still around a better lap this time. Still not going to be quite the low 54 that I'm hoping for, but we do have a few more chances here. Before the end of quali, we can hold on to everything. Didn't need that. But we will get 2 more opportunities. Blown this one. That's very bad. Right, let's go. Jesus, I had an absolute nightmare of a qualifying session. Now we've got to push really hard, half a second to gain. Not the best of exits off the hairpin. That was messy. It felt like I braked really early, so I eased off the brakes and then still ended up going deep. Only up one place. That was really bad. Oh, 53.8 by Warner anyway. I wasn't going to be achieving that.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Alright, be right back a sec. Alright, alright. I think we're all good. Ready to start. Way down the order. Where I don't want to be. But never mind. Is what it is.
Formation lab has started.
We should try and do something here with this. If we can. Right. Bit messy. Let's tidy things up. Hopefully we don't get a penalty or anything here. Now we're set, ready for the green light.
Green flag, green flag.
How did we not get a penalty from that? What the hell? Pretty much jumped the start, but managed to recover back into position quick enough. Oh my god, GT's behind. Quite glad that I did go for that dive bomb there. Well, that dive to the inside, shall I say. It wasn't necessarily a dive bomb, but sticking it 3 wide. Can take that one. Lovely, up in a P5. That's what we needed. Sneaking ahead of Leon. Didn't actually realise that was him. Now we're to get on after the cars in front. Trying to get comfy. Nice and close to the car in front. Can we do something about it into the first corner? That is the question. They are lifting and coasting, so yes, we can. Up in a P4, lovely. Good start to the race so far, good start. If you enjoyed that first lap, give it a like. Thank you very much everyone for tuning in as well. Supporting us here on the channel. Now to work on the cars in front. Thank you, Zuma. Oh, that guy's wide. Comes an LMP2. The one that spun up in turn 4. Banana looks like he's got some pace. Had 4 years off since ACC. Just got this last week. It's decent. Yep. And one ultimate is good. Glad to hear that you're getting back into the swing of sim racing and found another title that you like. We are closing in on Warner, which is nice. But you could very well be fuel saving. Slash also getting impeded by the LMP2. Slight luck up there, didn't want that. Got away with it though. Oh, change of lead. And then change of lead again. This is going to be interesting. A multi-class race. Obviously we've seen there's LMP2s and there's GT3s. At least this circuit is fairly good for us on the GT3 cars when we get to them. If we can stay nice and close to the top 2, maybe in with a chance when we get to the traffic. That's P3 for us, thank you. Try and close in on these two. Don't know whether Warner's just chilling and doing a bit of fuel saving, or if he is genuinely struggling for pace. Didn't get that last bit of braking right. Just eased off a little bit too much. Could be on for the fastest lap of the race here in LMP3. No, we're not. Not with that little twitch in the final corner. Lost us time, that did. Self-commentated curse, yep. Bayer and Leon behind are both closing in as well. And another little twitch there. Settle down. Oh, Warner's made a mistake. Should have been there for that. None or two of them battling. Really battling. Staying respectful between them. Oh! Sending in tears! It all got a little checked up there. Oh, let's settle. That was my fault. Now we've got some very light damage on the front, but it shouldn't impact us. Can't let Banani run away with this now. He's staying close and tight to him. Oh, Leon's gonna get Bayer. Bayer's pushing him to that inside wall. Oh, Leon's gone. No. That's two pretty big threats having spins or half spins. Just need to try and keep ourselves clean. I imagine Warner's going to be pushing now and trying to close back in on us. So we just need to try and keep ourselves clean, mistake free, make the most of the traffic. What do you like most about the P3 class? Well, the BOP is pretty good. And the cars are quite challenging and engaging to drive. As you can see, they're... Whilst they produce downforce, it's not absolutely huge amounts of downforce, especially in the slower speeds. And therefore, you do have to be pretty accurate with your inputs. And they require quite a smooth driving style as well, which I quite like. It's just... seem to be struggling at the moment. And braking in a couple of places. Then again, I am on a new set of pedals that I haven't... well, I've had on the rig for the last couple of weeks, so I've gotten somewhat used to them, but I don't feel anywhere near as comfortable and as confident on them as I do on my usual set of pedals. They certainly can be, yeah. I do like the LMP2 class though, because it does completely neutralise any sort of differences between the cars. Everyone's in equal machinery, so it's all down to setup and driver ability. Whereas there are some slight differences between the Ligier and Ginetta here in the LMP3, sorry. Not LMP2. I went from a set of Simagic P1000s to something that I can't say right now, but you'll find out very, very shortly. When I say shortly, I mean in the next week or two. Need to get into them lower 55s. It's a much better turn one. Come on, rear tyres, don't give up on us. Not that easily. I can tell you the wheelbase that I'm using now, as the embargo for that has now lifted. So currently on the rig, I do have the new Simagic Evo Ultra 28 Newton meter wheelbase. We need to stop making these mistakes because Banani's pulling away and Warner is closing in from behind. He's gotten the gap back down to around 5 seconds now. Thing is, mine and Banana's pace seem pretty equal. It's a little while yet before we hit traffic. We will get the LMP2s coming through us first. Before we get to the GT3 cars. Just can't get the braking right. Hey Luca. It was good, thanks. Good fun. Got to spend plenty of time with work colleagues. Got to do a little bit of sightseeing. Had a bit of a wander around Milan. Discuss stuff with regards to AC Rally. Obviously, can't really tell you about what we were discussing because it's all stuff to come in the future, but it was nice nonetheless. Oh my god, second off race leader. Try and do a little bit of fuel saving. So this guy does seem overly defensive right now. Ties. They see how the shiny diamond that Kunos need. Well, Kunos don't do anything other than the marketing. Along with 505 Games. Yes, us at Supernova have a partnership with them, but it's been a long time since I was in a meeting with Kunos people and our own, discussing things. Warner's lost some time. Bundle the two together on Steam? Yeah, kind of. More so that if you own one, you get a discount on the other. That's more 505's doing, as they're the publisher. The one with Kev Boland, yeah, it was interesting. can fully understand being inside the dev bubble, because it's certainly a real thing, and we ourselves at Assetto Corsa Rally were also in a dev bubble, but in the other way round. So whilst they were thinking that their game was all good and there wasn't too many issues and things like that, from what Kevin was saying, we were thinking that really or worrying that our game wasn't good enough. And we were concerned as to how the players were going to perceive it, so we were really focusing on polishing and all that sort of thing, and really pushing hard. And then it worked out really nicely for us, because a lot of people were very, very happy with our game. And obviously, when we announced it and showed it off at the Sim Expo, we got a lot of really, really good feedback. I think the problem with the PMR guys is they didn't really seem to listen too much to the feedback that they were getting, or they were kind of leaning a little bit too heavily into the positive feedback that they were getting, and kind of ignoring some of the criticisms. I tell you what, that LMP2 on the previous lap really screwed us over up in turn 13. It's dropped us quite significantly off the cars in front and allowed others behind to close up with quite a bit of ease. A lot of comments said going forward made sense. Everything about the race made no sense at all. In what way? So I can probably help explain a situation within development leading up towards releases a little bit better, hopefully. Watermelon? Were you flashing in the braking zone? I mean, I know I screwed up my own poor braking, but makes sense. It's in a real race car livery. That explains everything. $150 protesters, no push to release, but released the mess that they did. Just didn't match up. I don't believe the no push to release bit. There is always pressure to be releasing from publishers and all that sort of thing. But the thing is, when you, even with the protesters, yes, they were probably giving critical feedback and criticizing the game in certain ways and things like that. When you see improvement after improvement, yes, it may not be ultimately where you want to get, but your own kind of read of the situation gets warped by that. You see improvement and you think that things are much better, things are now good, but they're not. good in comparison to where they should be. They're just good and much better than where they were. It's that kind of confirmation bias, being in that development bubble that Kevin was talking about, because it is very much a thing. And you spend all day fixing bugs and issues, and you see at some points how badly broken the game can be when you fix things. You do kind of see that and feel it as a significant improvement in many ways. And don't forget, all those testers giving handling feedback and stuff like that have been picked by Straight 4 studios. A number of them will be people who like the development team and previous titles, previous Project Cars games. A number of them will just be happy to be part of the program and probably don't give too much feedback, and if they do, it's probably more praise than it is giving critical feedback. There'll be some that obviously are critical about the game and will give a lot of constructive criticism. It's just a case of how much does that actually get listened to by the developers, because, you know, your own mood and kind of state and thoughts and feelings towards the game changes on a weekly or daily basis. I've had it where the game's been in such a poor and bad state that you kind of, and it is consistently happening, and you get so down and frustrated about the game, so much so that you don't really want to hear of new issues and critical feedback about the game. It's just, you're in that kind of mindset and zone of being heavily frustrated, and you just don't want to know. Then other times you're like, right, actually I feel inspired and I do want to turn this around. Let's get into that organizational sort of mode, get hammering and sorting the issues, ironing them out and improving the overall state of the game. And it is when you're getting towards a release, you're starting to cram all the last little bits of work into the project, and things go in that, as I say, do have knock-on effects, like they said in the article. Even just a small change can have pretty big and significant consequences. It could even entirely end up breaking an entire lot of code. Trying to manage those sort of development times and balancing the right amount of getting those last improvements, bits of features, functionality, bug fixes and things in, versus the risk of something changing for the worse, which it sounds like what did happen, in the sense that they made a change and then the physics weren't what Ian Bell were supposedly shouting about on Twitter and X and things like that. I think there's an element of truth into that, but I also feel like that was probably some slight covering up for Ian Bell running his mouth as he typically does and overhyping things like he typically does. I'm very much of the sort of under-promise, over-deliver. And I get that you need to generate hype for the game and all that, but there is a certain way to do it and word things without coming across as too hyperbolic and over-promising, because the statements that he was making were very, very bold and saying a lot of very impressive things. And then, yeah, the product just didn't back that up when it released. I mean, I noticed that when I got to play it at the Sim Racing Expo in October last year. And I gave a bit of feedback. Hey, Free Minute. How's it going, mate? Hope for those that are invested in the game, follow through on what Kevin says. Yeah, I hope so too. Like, I'm hoping that they have learned from the past of giving up on the development of games too early after their release. And kind of giving it a longer post-release life cycle. It sounds like they're kind of doing a bit more of... Well, they're targeting that anyway. Then again, things can change overnight. Here, try and settle in a little bit here. Get back on the pace of the cars in front. Hey, MZ. What was Free Miner saying? Saying he's back from skiing but hadn't broken anything. And asking how the trip was. Well, glad that you had a good skiing trip and didn't break anything. That's always a successful time and one of the key targets of a skiing trip. Having done a couple myself in the past, and yeah, my trip was good as well, thank you. A lot less risk of breaking myself or hurting myself. It was good nonetheless. I want to get this guy before this next corner because we'll be able to carry a lot more speed than them through the turn. Race leader 10.5 seconds. Get me back on my old pedals. Yeah, Milan's a cool city. Really good food. Good for shopping. There's a bit of nice touristy sightseeing, architecture and buildings to explore, and it's pretty easy to get around as well. Good metro system, and you can walk around the place fairly easy as well. Yep. Definitely agree with you there, Freeman. Alright. This is one of the LMP3s that unfortunately got caught up in the incident in the first corner. I wonder whether they've got damage or fresher tyres or what. Hopefully we can get past them fairly quickly. Our other issue is the current GT3 that's here. Thank you very much for letting us go. Now try and close up on the cars in front, because in the next couple of laps we will be going through the GT3 traffic, or shall I say the bulk of it. No, Jensen, not yet. I'm still on the... Excuse me. I'm still on the new pedals. It should hopefully be swapping them back over in the next week or two. To get a review video done. And the embargo lifts. Yep. Looking forward to it. Back on a bit more consistent hardware. I can tell you now, though, that the wheelbase that I'm on and have been using the last couple of weeks is the new Simagic Evo Ultra. It's the embargo for that lifted last Thursday. Whilst I was in Milan, which is a little bit gutting. Obviously, just unfortunate timing. I haven't been able to get around to doing a video on it yet, so that should be coming in the next week or so as well. Speaking of pedals, using G93 pedals that you got with the wheel. Yeah, I'll catch the rest in a second. But they're not great. Swap to 3 PAs for the time being until I save up enough money for something better. But the pedals that I'm using now might be a good option. They are very well priced. Seriously looking at the upgrade from CSL DD. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I like the Evo line of wheelbases anyway, because they gave me an Evo Sport and an Evo Pro. I was previously running the Evo Pro as the main wheelbase until I got this one, and I mean, all three feel pretty similar. Obviously with the higher amounts of torque here on the Ultra. It's obviously a lot more powerful. It's just as quick and as sharp with the fine details of the rest of the Evo line. You just now got a lot more headroom to play with, so some of those lower end details feel a little bit clearer and a little bit more prominent than they once previously did. This guy's not having a good time with this Ford Mustang. Problem is using the desk for the clamp, office chair. Yeah, even these pedals be good and fine, suitable for a desk. I'll give you 20 quid for the old Pro. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the previous wheelbases yet. I still have them laying around, keeping them for what I call game design purposes. Thank you. Yeah, the behind the times. Limited software between the ears. Not a hardware issue. I see. Yeah, obviously, better newer equipment is always nice, but it doesn't solve all the driving issues. Disabled access like in Italy now? Any better? I'd say so, yeah. There's, well, I was using the M4 metro line from Milan Linate Airport, which is one of the newest lines in Milan. And that has plenty of lifts. And it's literally like 15-20 minutes from the airport to the city centre. So it's good for wheelchair use there. Obviously, actually in and around Milan itself, there are some cobbled streets and some streets, pavements and stuff that are bumpier and obviously not ideal for wheelchair users or those who aren't quite as sturdy on their feet. And there's a few curbs as well that, even if they have drop curbs, the drop curbs aren't quite enough. And there's I don't know where you're flashing at me. I couldn't really do much else there, mate. Yeah, their drop curbs aren't quite as good as they are here in Britain, so could be a little bit tricky, but generally it does seem to be improving. The only other thing to kind of consider is getting in and out of restaurants, hotels and things like that. And the hotel that we stayed in had good disabled access, I'd say. Nothing that I remember that stood out as being quite limiting. Actually, getting down to the restaurant downstairs didn't really have any ramps anywhere. And even though there was a lift to get down there, you still had to get up some stairs to get into the actual restaurant area, as it was kind of like between floors. But that was the specific hotel that I was in. So, improving, but probably still a little bit tricky and difficult in places. That's how I describe it. Interestingly, they do have the Paralympics out there at the moment. So there's a few stands and activations and things for that out and about. Warner's just absolutely rocketed around with the pace. He's probably got lucky with the traffic, because we certainly seem to be losing out in places. And again, we were also chatting and not quite 100% focusing on overall pace. 54.6, get out of here. I mean, we do have lower fuel now than we did before. Damn. Down in front's got to get both of these GT3s, I think. Nope. Interesting. I would have gone for both if I could. Oh, sorry. Just what we needed. LMP2's diving in and around, and yeah, he's just dove that guy as well, which is nice for us. I didn't practice my pit entry. Here comes Leon. Go deep. Yeah, eating that one. Oh, okay. I thought it was 19 that I needed. Fuel-wise, it's not 17. Which is accurate. Why is this LMP2 getting involved here? Oh dear. Come on, man. Need to settle in. Warner's back into the lead. Jeez, he has got pace in hand. To be fair, we're not being the tidiest here in the middle part of this this first stint. tell you what, Leon's very good. Coming off the turn 1, turn 2 corners. On throttle way too early. Lovely bit of defending that. Hold Leon nice and tight. Force him deep. Switch back underneath. Textbook stuff. DGA's faster. Okay. Three temps around this track. I mean, that's quite a bit. Quite an interesting battle here with Leon. Again, he's looking to the inside. Oh. Kind of let him go there because I think I might have pinched him slightly at the apex and was the one that kind of caused that contact. They seem to be very good though, accelerating off corners. Much better than we are. Imagine how they're just able to pull like a tenth or two of the exit of really slow speed stuff. Leon's teasing us. Right there, look. Just look at this. Where's this speed coming from? Like, the time isn't really changing much, but visually it looks like he's putting like 2-3 car lengths off the slow to medium speed turns. Grip pack's engaged, yeah. Unless he's overriding the TC. Dirty sweat. Don't want to make that. Oh, turning. What a move. What a move. He's going to come right back at us here, though. Oh. I think he wants to box me with this GT3. Ooh. Well played, sir. Yeah, he does have better traction. Oh. Oh, very close. Half a dozen of one and half a dozen the other. They're in that situation. Very 50-50. Just remember fuel. How did we not lock up there? say we're right on the limit of grip there into turn 1. Or we might get held with this GT3 here into the final corner. Certainly being compromised. Well, we can go one more lap with Leon. And Bonani. MP2 is just what I don't need. Keep it on 18. Dual load. That I need, and the stop does keep flickering here. This is not the kind of inlet that I need. Oh, did I get 1 point for the that? I did, yeah. Okay. We still got points in hand, so that's the main thing. Really cautious there. I had no idea where I was meant to be braking. Go with 18. "22 seconds. Nice water on board. Why are you turning me? So unnecessary. Right, well, we're right behind Leon. Again. Which is good, and there's one guy still yet to pit. Now I've got to get used to, again, driving with higher fuel load. Right, so we are in a net P5. Which is good. Just need a... Wow. Getting onto the podium is going to be really hard. 15.5 seconds? No, 6 seconds. With Leon in the way. That's terrible. Yellow flag up ahead. Or an NMP2. More incidents and issues for people? Sorry. That was my bad. That was really poor of me. Kind of thought about having a look and then thought, actually, no, let's not, and slot in behind. Yeah, it still ended up hitting the back of him. Giving myself even more work to do to close in on the cars in front now. Just getting so much understeer. Right, we need to get into low 55s. Start closing in on the cars in front. Leon's doing that sort of lap time that I want to be doing. Oh, GTs are battling. So sort yourselves out soon, please. Thank you very much. Oh my god, that was so very close. Very, very close, but we managed to sneak on through. I don't know why he went super aggressive though. It wasn't... I'd say it's quite close enough to be making that sort of move. Not a good lap. I mean, we closed in quite nicely on Bayer and front, gap under 8 seconds now, but would have been nice to have gotten more time. It's much better when you take that tighter line on the exit. First corner. A lot more comfortable going flat out off the turn and into 2 and 3. comes an LMP2. Why have you come barreling in here? Again, self-preservation is key. Don't go across the GT3s in the braking zone. It will go into the back of you, as they can brake later. I made that unnecessarily tight. He's going to flash me here. No, he's not. Okay. So I know it was a little bit of a send into the first corner, but he slowed us both down in turn 2 and 3 by trying to keep me tight, forcing me to launch over the inside curb. It gave it a little bit more room. Would have been a lot better for us both. Leon's closed up onto P3 quite nicely. Not made too much headway on this particular lap, but gap is closing between those two, so hopefully they'll start fighting soon. Help us close in even more. A little messy there. Alright, let's get back on it. Let the LMP2 go, not lose too much time. Yeah, we should get this Porsche before turn 1. At least be alongside. I was going to say, do not make it 3 wide. It's amazing how much time that's cost us. 1.5 seconds. Even Bayer did a 56.1. Go on, Leon, get stuck in, mate. Yeah, Warner's absolutely flying. 54.5 race pace. I know we're on lower fuel, but that's still very impressive. Certainly had the measure over us all here this evening. Though Banani's kept him pretty honest, pretty close. Only 3 seconds between the two of them. if things can get dicey between Bayer and Leon in the final 5 minutes, gift us a podium, that would be grand. Oh, half a second between them now. Go on, Leo, mate. Go for it. Half a point for that. Jeez, okay. Now we have to be careful of the last 5 minutes. Five minutes to go. Both myself and Leon invalidated laps. Oh no, Leon's got held up. Moldovan spun right in front of him here in turn 1. That's completely ruined any fight that Leon may have had. For the podium. That really sucks. So I was kind of bargaining on a juicy fight there to help us close in even more and potentially gain maybe one more position if things came to blows. Saved it. Nope, wasn't ideal. Lost a lot of time. Messy. One more lap after this. Yes. Trophy laps by all. I think Leon might be right on the limits, track limits there. Either that or fuel. One or two. He's lost a big chunk of time. Well, there we have it. P5 in the end. A pretty fun race. Just, yeah, should have been higher up in that one, I reckon. Should have been on the podium if we kind of had a much better middle phase of the first stint. Just kind of dropped off too much. Right, where was that? Porsche, is it this guy? Yes, it was. That. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Quite a bit of chat going on. can see. I'll quickly show you the car setup that I ran in the end. I didn't really have much time to show that off. Setup I think was good, just myself was messy. Alright, cheers Jensen. Thanks for turning in. We got plenty to take a look at in the replay. Some good fights with Leon. Some nice side-by-side battling. And a couple of moves that worked out really, really well. Oh, I lost a little bit of ranking. Never mind. So, what was this? Better to finish 5th. Okay. I think it's more qualifying. Really hurt us there. Built 302 points. That's not bad. Take a look, see where we are in the overall standings. P11. So we have gained a place. It looks like we'll gain some more once the drop round is taken into effect. We won't be jumping Gosling nor Rado, but we should jump Whittle, James Wright. We should jump Matthew Kingston Lee, Banford. We drop him as well. Yeah. Don't think we're. Yeah, we're not going to jump Boyle, Bayer, or Banani. So we'll jump a bunch of people. Kind of probably end up in around 6th, 7th, somewhere around there. Likewise here with this, definitely not going to get first. Should jump ahead of Bamford. Matthew Kingston Lee. So I think we're 3rd nationality wise. Fourth or 5th from the manufacturer. So yeah, interesting, fairly close. Let's go take a look at that replay. Oh, just quickly before we do that, let's take a look, see where we are going to be for work experience. Full regards current round. Algarve going to be the next one. Final round of the season. And I think we'll be at Kota for the final round of the MultiClass Masters. Should be good. Should be interesting in the LMP3. So I've got a few setups that will probably work quite nicely there. Algarve in the hypercars is going to be interesting, that's for sure. Especially the Cadillac, which is quite prone to over rotation, especially under braking, which you kind of want good rotation under braking at Algarve. Now somehow I didn't get any penalties for the start. So we're here on the limiter, and I was getting ready, I had my finger over the pit limiter button, accidentally pressed it, and then immediately realised, thankfully, we didn't actually gain anything from it, and if anything had a slightly worse start because the car alongside us got a slightly better reaction to the lights. This is kind of all fairly safe and pedestrian, and I just... My god, am I glad that I went and stuck my nose in on the inside here. I didn't see this car coming from behind. Oh dear. Leon, so very nearly dying. Hello. Oh my god. Then this poor guy on the outside here, lovers. Just getting pelted and spun around. Whole bunch of damage, causing absolute chaos. Oh my god, and he got hit on the exit as well? What the hell was that? He's just here on the outside minding his own business, and then all of a sudden, wham, GT3. And then he's accelerating. I think he's trying to be careful of his rejoin, but this guy on his outside here just drives straight through him. What happened with their start then? Hey, race went alright, Twiggy. We got P5 in the end. Had a strong start and then had some good fights. That was bad. What he should have done. Keep it straight. Or go back again left. Because then all he's going to do is go through the gap that's over here. Instead he's turning in, losing braking power, and then gone straight into the back of one of the LMP3s. Hey ho. Never mind. See what happened the rest of the lap. I think Leon was fairly cautious. Oh no, it was the spinning LMP2 further up ahead, which slowed Leon down. Gave us an opportunity to get alongside. Came very close twice there. And then that was us securing that one. Let's see what his view was like. Yeah, cars kind of going everywhere. Making that one work nicely. And then move to the inside. It's P4. Oh yeah, playing shenanigans. That's a nice move. Happy with that one. And things kind of seem to settle down from there. Oh! I can do it then. Oh, that was... yeah, a little unfortunate there for Leon. We were just messy. Messy from here. Warner got through. Other cars got through. Is this when me and Leon started fighting and having some good battles? Man, this LMP2 coming out kind of saved us a little bit, but was also a right pain, as you can see there. Little tappity tap. Nothing too bad. Everything was all fairly calm. Through here. Slight wiggle. The apex of that one. This LMP2, man, sticking it down the inside there in the middle of a fight, completely unnecessary. Leon not happy and flashing the lights. It's understandable. Again, Leon getting a really good drive off the exit of the corner there. It's getting very close there between the two of us. Yeah, it's when you get into the flow and rhythm, it's quite good fun. But if you struggle, it's quite frustrating. Yeah, it was a poor exit there, which gave Leon an opportunity here, but we squeezed him, and then he outbraked himself. Nicely back underneath again. Yeah, he locked up a bit. But he did just have better pace than I did. I think this is where there was a slight... Yeah, there was a slight bump between the two of us. It's probably a little bit too easy there on the exit. Wasn't there, we went for the move. Oh, there. I think it was on this lap with the GT3s. Yeah. Watch this. This is great fun. Getting a beautiful run here. Send. A little bit of brushing. And again. Here's Emma. P5 in the end. Should have been higher, but I just didn't have the consistency throughout the race that I wanted. Should have had. Again, it got such a good drive coming off the corner. Yeah, he just managed to hook up so much better in the mid turn there. Yeah. Hey, Alex. Yep. LMP3s are a ton of fun. Watch this beautiful move in a second. Getting back on Leon again. Into the turn 10 hairpin. To Fernando Alonso. No contact. That was quite a set. I saw it closing and I thought, oh, why not? Let's stick the nose in there. Leon gave us space. Yeah, tiny bump there and I managed to go back through. I'll have a look at this one again on this lap here. So the run that we got was sensational. The fact that we managed to make that. I'm not going too deep on the exit is ridiculous. Oh, it was great fun racing with Leon. I'm going to enjoy watching that back from his perspective later. But yeah, that was cool. And then yeah, he just managed to get it and pull away. There wasn't too much else after that, I don't think. Oh, there was. I want to see Leon and the LMP2 as it was closing in. Here it is. Oh, oh. Yeah, that ruined Leon's chance for a fight in P4. Oh, and then he sticks out the inside there and just lurks as well. Oh dear, oh dear. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, next week, hopefully things will go much better. We can get back on the podium again. That'll be the aim for Kota, and as mentioned, we'll be back again live streaming as normal on Thursday, where we'll have the final round of WEC Experience, and hopefully there'll be a video this week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Probably be Friday if it does come out, but we shall see. See how long it takes for me to create the video and edit it and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Right, thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. Hope you have a good rest of the week, and I hope to see you again Thursday evening, same time, 7 PM UK time, for that final race of WEC Experience. Give the live stream a like, consider subscribing if you're new here, and until the next time, have fun, stay safe, take care.